Hello, what's going on everybody? I just got done watching episode 1 of Dimension 20's new season, Never Stop Blowing Up, and I have some predictions that I wanted to go over. I have like a whole list of predictions, and I think it would be really fun if everyone else left their predictions in the comments in a similar sense, and then once the season's over, I'd like to revisit this list and go through some of other people's lists as well to see like what we got right and what maybe we didn't. Obviously, this season is entirely based off 80s tropes and themes, so that's a lot of what I got going on here. Let's get right into it. Okay, so starting off this list strong, we have a heroic sacrifice. I think at some point, one of these characters is going to let themselves go to give everyone else the strength to continue on. They're going to act as a noble sacrifice, and that's going to give everyone motivation and incentive. I mean, what 80s move does not have that? Sort of stemming off that as well, I don't think it's just them that's going to be sacrificing them. I think this season Brennan's going to be out for blood. He's done this before, and he's no stranger to giving the players a hard time. He loves adding stakes to battles, and he loves narrative drive. I think it's one of his strengths. I don't know anything about dungeon mastering, but I think he's really good at it and really good at coming up with things on the fly. And I think similar to a Crown of Candy, he's going to try to kill off one of these characters. I don't know who it's going to be, but I think he's going to conspire to try to make it happen. If I had to put money on it, I'm thinking maybe Allie's character, simply based off the fact that a lot of these other characters and people playing at the table, at least I'm unfamiliar with them, and I think maybe they might be unfamiliar with his dungeon style. I don't know. I know that Allie's been on so many other episodes with Brennan. They would be an easy target. One of my favorite characters so far has been Jacob Wysocki. I think he's hilarious, and I think his chaotic gremlin style with this character is so ripe to fall in love with the femme fatale character. I don't know who the NPC is going to be, but I think that Brennan's going to introduce a femme fatale NPC, and it would be so easy for them to fall in love with Jacob Wysocki, who I think is just not going to care at all, and I would be all for that. I think that would be hilarious. I think that would be a great choice, and I think that's going to be something that happens. I'm just going to rattle off some other random quick time event 80s tropes that I like to see. There's going to be a loose cannon cop at some point, a reckless renegade, someone who doesn't play by the rules but gets things done. I think there's going to be a heist. I think there's also going to be a chase scene. I think Brennan's done chase scenes before and he's done them really well. I think there's probably going to be a battle with some kind of time limit. Thinking about 80s movies, it's all about explosions, high stakes, energy. I think that there's going to be some kind of battle where there is a bomb detonating, it's on a timer, and I think some character's going to be on the job of trying to... What's the word for when you stop a bomb? I think someone's going to be on a mission to defuse the bomb, and then everyone else is going to be fighting. I think that's probably going to happen at some point. I think there's probably going to be some kind of hostage situation. I think maybe some enemy is going to provide some sort of stakes by taking someone that they have all come to know and love, and I think that person is going to hold them hostage while they try to find some way to fight. It's going to be a battle of wits and a battle of the mind. And I don't know if it'll be related to that at all, but I think that at some point, someone's going to get double-crossed. I think Brennan's going to introduce characters, and there's going to be a lot of side flipping. I think we've seen it before, but I also think the stage is set here, and this would be the perfect other place to implement those kinds of things. And for my final prediction, if you know Brennan and you've watched anything else related to Dimension 20, capitalism is always the enemy. It's always the bad guy in the end, and I think that for an 80s themed Dungeons and Dragons adventure, it's perfect for him to make capitalism the enemy again. I mean, think about it. I feel like at some point it's going to be operating on, like, if you've ever seen The Last Action Hero with Arnold Schwarzenegger, I think it's going to be something similar to that, where maybe they're going to realize that these people are from I'm getting tongue-tied. I think that they're going to realize that some of these people come from some form of outside world, and maybe they're going to become aware of the tape or something. I don't know what magic is in this tape, but I think they're going to look at it as something to monopolize and something to capitalize on. I think that someone's probably going to try to take over the world, and by taking over the world, it's going to involve taking over that tape, because that essentially is their world. It's going to be some kind of like mind-shattering epiphany of some kind for some really bad guy, and I think that might be the direction that it goes in. I don't know about that specifically, but I'm willing to bet that that Brennan is definitely going to make capitalism the enemy again. So that's it for my predictions. I think it's a pretty hefty list, but what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Feel free to like and subscribe. And like I said before, I would love to revisit this when the season is over and go through the checklist and see what I got right and what I got wrong, and also sort of review some of the comments. If this gets any, it's entirely possible that no one's going to watch this, but I'm still going to do it anyway. I just think it'll be fun. All right, see ya. Peace out.